I'm co-founder and CEO of Colorifics. We've engineered microorganisms using synthetic biology so that they can produce, deposit, and fix dyes directly into textiles, saving water and energy in the process and completely removing hazardous chemicals from dyeing. Using a biologically driven process, we incorporate elements from nature. So our pigments are the same pigments that you see in nature. So let's say a parrot makes a beautiful red color. We can take the DNA from the parrot, find a message that says make red, and then we can put it in our organism so it makes the same red that the parrot makes, the same way that the parrot makes it, but in a much more sustainable and scalable way without hurting any parrots. Additionally, not only are our pigments coming from renewable resources and made the same way that nature makes them, but we apply them using 90% less water, 20% less energy. And as I mentioned, nothing hazardous goes in or out of the process. Everything we use is food and feed grade.
Does this replace any particular existing innovation?
Well, it's simply a different way of doing the same thing. So it's not a direct replacement for the dyeing that happens today. In fact, our technology is completely compatible with the way that people dye now. It uses the same equipment, uses the same textiles. It's just using a biologically driven dyeing agent rather than a petrochemical one.
Why should investors take notice of this? Why should they invest in you?
Well, although there are several companies out there that are trying to make eco-friendlier dyes and eco-friendlier dyeing processes, there are none that work across as wide a range as Textiles as Colorifics. We work on natural, synthetic, semi-synthetic, and blended fibers. We're the only ones who can dye polycotton in a single step today. And on top of this, because we're using technology that already exists, we're not building new hardware, we don't need new machines, it means that our technology is truly scalable. Everything out there in the space today means you need new processes, new equipment, new everything, and that makes a big barrier for scaling. We use fermentation, so the same way that you make beer, we make our colors, and we dye using the same equipment that the industry is using today, which means that the barriers towards implementing this technology at a much wider scale are much smaller than with existing companies. I'd say that the drive towards sustainability has been very strong in the recent years in the industry, with a lot of movement towards going into more eco-friendly processes. But one of the biggest challenges with sustainable innovation is making the innovation sustainable not just for the environment, but for the businesses themselves. And the biggest driver in the industry that I think is lacking now is to marry the sustainable economics and sustainable environmental aspects of these new technologies and bringing those to market and making it possible. No innovation can be cost effective from zero scale. Early on, these things will not be cost competitive. You have to identify which ones have the potential of being sustainable on both fronts, and that's what the industry needs to focus on today. There's a lot of companies out there doing great things, but not every great idea can actually translate into something that has an impact in our world. And identifying those and not spending our limited resources chasing things that are good in principle but will never be able to deliver in practice is one of the key things that I think the industry needs to focus on.